welcome in Illinoisprep.com. We're at 5A, where I'm not surprised. I had all the semifinalists right. And that's because
I got 3.
And that's because Joliet Catholic went out and won their record 100th playoff game, and they did it how they do it. Ty Isaac, 4 touchdowns on 7 touches. Kind of good. Then Malin Jones, 9 carries for 133. And then this is the stat. If you play JCA and this happens, you are going to lose. Craig Slowick at quarterback, 3 for 3, 99 yards. That is not supposed to happen against Joliet Catholic, which is renowned for the running backs. But then you remember, this was Washington. And Joliet Catholic owns Washington in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think these are our 2 best semifinals when you talk about name recognition in the playoffs.
JCA and Sacred Heart Griffin.
And then on the other side, you got Kalen Montini.
Yeah.
You didn't think JCA would be here.
Nope.
How impressed or unimpressed are you at this point?
I'm impressed. Not with the Washington win. I mean,
how about how they've done it?
Yeah, but they've been slapping teams left and right. Seeing them, earlier in the regular season, there were definitely some rough patches. But again, like I said in a previous show, JCA is like that NBA team, that veteran NBA team. Not worry about the regular season. We know we're going to get to the playoffs, and when we do, we're going to start taking over teams, and that's what they're doing. I mean, I'll be honest. I thought they were going to lose to Morris, and then I said, hey, maybe they can lose to Washington. So I got to keep with the thing. Maybe they can lose to Sacred Heart Griffin. I don't know, but
your boy is spanking you in this bracket here.
Yeah,
mostly thanks to Joliet Catholic. But again, I just go back to it. The reason I didn't even hesitate to pick Joliet Catholic to go to the final, there was some hesitation for me to pick them over Montini, but they're just physically superior to 5A football teams.
Yeah, I agree. But their foe, let's get down to what we really want to talk about. Their foe on the other side of the bracket is, number 1, not afraid of them. Number 2, they've gone toe-to-toe with them. Number 3, have played teams that are, the teams that they played throughout the year are, they played against big teams just like JCA has. Mm-hmm. So you're really looking at 2 teams that mirror each other from the standpoint of competition.
I'll call you out. I want to go schedule comparison. If you just said that Sacred Heart Griffins played equal opponents that JCA's had.
No. I was talking about Montini.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That whole rant
was regarding Montini.
That was all about Montini.
Oh, I thought that was going to be your rationale for picking Sacred Heart Griffin.
I just got to go. Keep on going. Yeah.
But the bad news for Sacred Heart Griffin is they got to go into the Lions' Den.
Yep.
JCA, a home game to get back to the state championship game after not making it last year, and in all likelihood, they're going to get a piece of the 2-time defending state champs.
Mm-hmm.
Just a ho-hum game. John Road, 29 of 41, 438, 6 touchdowns through the air, which, usually means Jordan Westerkamp had himself a day, 10 for 164, 4 scores.
Yep.
We talk about it a little with Loyola. How do you stop Jordan Westerkamp and Road?
You don't.
That's
why I have them as state champions. You don't stop them. Okay. The thing we're okay. This is the matchup. Obviously, we're very excited for if it happens. And again, more than likely because we're talking about it, Sacred Heart Griffin's going to win and Canelan's going to win.
Right.
That's what's going to end up happening.
Right.
If this matchup does happen, the thing I was saying is that you can't stop Westerkamp and Road. Mm-hmm. And you're saying, we'll just triple team them. I said, that's fine. There's someone else on the team that can catch a ball, run it, take advantage of that. And so
I want to see Canelan double, triple team Westerkamp. Here's my thing. And I understand your point.
Mm-hmm.
And on most teams, that's true. Because if you're playing wide receiver in college, you're probably pretty good. High school, you get what you get.
Yep.
And these other wide receivers aren't used to having the pressure on them of thinking, because all they're saying is Jordan's probably going to be open.
Yep.
But if all of a sudden they're thinking Jordan's never going to be open because they're blanketing him,
mm-hmm.
it's all on me.
Mm-hmm.
When you've never had to do that before, and so I'm not saying they couldn't win that way. I'm just saying if I was an opposing coach, I'd at least give it a try for a half and see how Montini reacts.
I think you have to. I mean, for both Kalen and Sacred Heart Griffin. For Kalen, I think it's a little tough because you can't really look at the games from the beginning of the year because the quarterback was out for most of the season.
Sure.
Sacred Heart Griffin.
Six weeks, I think.
Yeah. Rested. Nah.
Yeah, right?
Sacred Heart
fresh.
Griffin
Fresh on.
needs to go check out some of JCA's games at the beginning of the year. At the same time, I think Nazareth messed it up for everybody else that plays JCA after that. Because JCA is like, we lost to Nazareth? Like, when do we lose to Nazareth? How is this going to... And then they just start rolling on teams.
Especially because late in that Nazareth game, it seemed like JCA figured something out because they started to make a run at him. Yeah, absolutely. The biggest problem to me for Canelan's going to be, can they put up enough points to keep up with Montini?
Because what you're saying is they can't take those. They're not going to stop Montini from scoring 40 points.
Again, my thing is, I don't think anyone will actually try triple teaming Westerkamp.
Why not, though?
Because I think it's hard for a lot of coaches to think outside the box like that. They just don't. They'd have to change their defense because no one builds their defense around triple teaming a guy.
No, I mean looking at Montini just from the playoffs. Week 1, 49 points. Week 2, 35 points. Week 3, 52 points. So they're gonna put up at least 40 on you. You know what I mean? So is it one of those things like my high school coach told me when we played St. Rita, we just have to outscore them?
Well, again, to me, Montini's defense, what was it? Sorry,
they've held teams down.
They gave up 27 points. I mean, that's not nothing.
No,
and to me,
but Marion's no. Well, go ahead.
No, I mean, well, I'm still saying, Canelan's a team that's made deep runs.
Yeah,
they need this to even more than Loyola. To me, this is a Montini team. You need to try and play keep away on offense.
Long, sustainable drives.
Right.
Keep the offense off. Be like Peyton Manning, and that be part of your defense, keeping their offense off the field.
And almost more importantly than keeping them off the field is keeping your defense off the field. So when they get on there, they've got fresh legs to run around the field and cover Westerkamp. Mm-hmm. Because if they're tired every time they go out there, you have no chance against Jordan Westerkamp.
Definitely going to have maybe some type of special team score. And you know what? Let's be honest, this is football. And I don't think it can happen because this is a very high caliber player. He's going to Nebraska for a reason. Yep. But have someone hit him in the mouth. And I'm not talking about anything illegal. I'm not talking about anything.
Not a cheap shot.
Not getting him hurt.
Just stick him.
But honestly, being like, if you do beat us, you're going to be hurting for the next week. That is because the difference between college and high school is
they're going to know you played them.
Not only that, but in high school, you can sometimes get someone to quit if they're really just getting roughed up. In college, the coach is demanding you to keep on going out. So if you wanna stop them somehow, maybe get to the quarterback and just rough them up. Again, not anything illegal, not headshots or anything like that, but between the whistle, good, clean, hits that could sometimes change the scope of a game.
Absolutely, yeah, it'll be very interesting. What
do I think that's gonna happen?
Real quick. No. They only scored 20 against Rochelle. What are Canelan's other point outputs in the playoffs?
Let's see. Belvedere, they scored 51. St. Francis, they scored 31, and then Rochelle 20.
So, I mean, they put up 51s, but it was the first round. So
exactly.
That's what I mean. I don't know if Canelan's capable of putting up 40 on an elite team like Montini.
Sacred Heart Griffin, what's their chance of beating JCA?
To me, very, very slim. One, it's at Joliet. Mm-hmm. Two,
how do you stop? If you're going to stop JCA, how are you going to stop them?
See, the difference between... I think JCA is less prone to a bad game than a team like Montini for one reason. I think when you're a running team, mm-hmm. That's basic football, I think because... Again, I haven't seen Sacred Heart Griffin this year, but I hadn't seen Morris either. I think I would bet money that JC's got better personnel than Sacred Heart Griffin, and both those teams are running football teams. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have, if you're not a passing team, can beat you with lesser personnel. If all you do is line it up, put a helmet on a helmet, and run it, the team with better personnel is going to win that football game. In my opinion, maybe you disagree, but that to me is why St. Goddard Griffin can't beat Joliet Catholic. Now, Canelan could potentially beat Montini because even though it hasn't happened, Road could have an off night. If you're getting pressure on him, he probably isn't pressured that often. And as I said, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But to me, that's why a passing team is more prone to a bad game than a team that lines it up and runs it with arguably the best running back tandem in the state.
And I'm going to end it with this. Yes, a passing team is more prone to have that happen. And
I'm not saying Montini's your average passing team.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That is for an average passing team, but this is not an average passing team. This is the Montini Broncos.
So, rematch, GC and Montini and Champaign?
Yep, it's going to happen.
All right. And then we might have to make a – I'm
telling you, JCA and Montini, you guys better ball because we have a curse on the teams that we pick, and Sacred Heart Griffin versus Canelan might just happen.
Not to mention, we got another beat-ups bet riding on a head-to-head JC Montini game.
Pretty much.
So we will see what happens. This is the only class where we might see the matchup everyone wants to see at the beginning of the playoffs.
Exactly.
JCA, Montini, 5A Powers, duking it out in Champaign. We will see if it happens. We'll be talking about it next time. For Eric, I'm Skyler. You're watching IllinoisPrep.com.